6 days ago, I bought a crash damaged, non-running Mercedes G-Wagon. Oh no. Oh, my head's gone with this car. And now, I'm about to attempt to drive it over 2,000 miles. Let's see if this works. The G-Wagon is a luxury SUV with a hefty price tag. But originally, it was built for the military, then slowly developed into a sporty, mafia-esque 4x4 vehicle.
Lately been feeling myself too hard to be sad when I take a good look at my pockets.
And now they're more known for people cruising around in cities like Monaco and Miami. The price tag really put me off these cars, but when one come up for auction, which was a non-runner and had been involved in an accident, I knew this was the time that I could get one for a price that I wanted to pay. Okay, here it is. We are on Friday, the 12th of December, and in 6 days, next Thursday, we want to be in this G-Wagon driving to Switzerland. I've literally just bought it from auction, and this auction, G3, ain't even a crash damaged car auction. This is like a finance repossession auction, and they messaged me and said they've got a crash damaged car in, so it might be one for me, but it's also a non-runner. He is called Wayne. He already got a name. So this is Wayne the G-Wagon. He's a 2020 G63 with 51,000 miles, which has clearly been involved in an accident on the front end, but for some reason doesn't run or drive. This looks pushed back, and it looks like it could have had like an oil leak or something here, which is the oil cooler is there. It doesn't actually look too bad.
It looks sick.
It really doesn't look bad at all, does it? And I've got this pretty good. A really good deal, I think. Small bit of damage on the bumper there.
No, that's nothing.
I think that could have been in transport. Oh, it's like...
It's got cream interior.
yeah, we're gangster,
Same headlights.
Is the headlight good? One broken tab. Oh.
Right.
What's this? Oh, that's where they...
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God, look at the floor. Who puts cream carpet in a car? Oh, and this is chocolate. Okay, the interior is a little crazy, but no airbags have deployed. And surely the car would have had to be running to be in an accident. So none of this explains why it doesn't run or drive. I think I know why it doesn't run, and I really hope I know why it doesn't run. We're not going to tell the guys here because obviously I think we've got a bargain, but...
Can I let you into a secret?
What's that?
I don't think you've got a bargain.
Why?
Because the bloke said this has just got back from a garage from down the road and there's a big problem.
What's the problem?
There may be some side casing missing from the gearbox.
Oh,
You're
no.
joking.
No. I've been waiting.
Something missing out the gearbox?
I think so, yeah. It isn't, yeah. I asked him, why is it here? And he was like, it's been here for a while and it's just got back from the garage from down the road and apparently there's a hole in the gearbox.
Okay.
It's weird that it got crashed on the front end the same time there was damage to the gearbox.
Yeah, is
Very
it damage from a crash, do you think, or damage from someone going, yeah, reverse to first?
I don't know. I'd say gone over something by the damage on the front. Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Like a...
But it's such high ground clearance. Maybe. So we might have a holy gearbox. Okay. So engine's there at least. As long as the engine runs, but I daren't try and turn it over because that oil cooler looks like it could have had a bit of a hit. We'll get it back and then let's see if that is true. Which probably is true, but let's see if it's fixable. Come on, Wayne. So the rumour is that it has a hole in its gearbox. But the car did go into neutral, so it could be an easy fix. And actually looking underneath it, there wasn't anything obvious I could see. And the fact that Ethan's just got neutral, I can't see anything yet.
Do you not think?
Well, the fact that it's got neutral.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I did think that. But...
Look at this, your access to the AMG private lounge.
Ooh.
Fourth, unlucky, it's the taking part that counts. You can tell a lot about the previous owner just by the things that they left in the car before it got taken to auction. But this G-Wagon is a weird one, and the story does get weirder the more we discover about it. The fact that it's at a repossession auction and it doesn't run with damage is weird enough. But it gets stranger. Right, has Wayne got a holy gearbox? Let's find out. Go slow. Looking underneath the car, there wasn't anything obvious I could see.
Well, there's no oil here, so that to me says there's no oil in the gearbox.
Quick assessment. Oh, that's a transmission cooler.
So that might
Is
be
that
what
why there's a
they're
hole
on
in the
about.
gearbox? Because if that's been ripped out and the gearbox is overheated, then there could well be a hole in the gearbox. But where's this hole? So no obvious signs of any holes in the gearbox, just damage to the transmission cooler, which in turn could have damaged the gearbox if it was run without the cooler. Right, first things first, let's get the oil out, see if Wayne has got any. With us not being able to find anything obvious there, I was going to start removing the under tray to see if there was any damage to the engine underneath it. And then we can see if any oil was actually inside the engine, because there is a chance that the car got ran without oil because there's damage to the oil cooler at the front. And if that's the case, if the engine run dry, it could need a complete rebuild.
It's a bit oily around here.
Yeah, but no oil.
And then why is it so oily up here? Do you think that's all come
I
from
think
that
that's
oil
from the
cooler?
oil cooler, it's just sprayed back in it.
Can't say anything yet.
I don't know if it's good or not.
Do you know what's not going to be good? If no oil comes out. That's
Yeah, or chunks. Here we go, sports fans. Please have oil. Oh, Jesus! That's looking damp. Yes! Oh, it's filthy. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether to be worried or not.
Because if it doesn't start and it's got oil in it, why wouldn't it start?
The only thing, if it's got that crash data, it's got some kind of crash data thing on.
And do you think with this year car we can clear it, or has it got to be like a Lamborghini where it has to go back to Lamborghini?
There's only one way to find out. On the newer Mercedes, when the car thinks it's been in an accident, the ECU stores crash data, which stops you from restarting the car. And the only way to clear this crash data is to scan it with a diagnostic tool and then tell it it's now okay to start the car again. I think this is the reason why this car isn't starting.
What the heck? Why do you have it this colour if you've got a G-Wagon? I thought they're for farms and stuff.
Also,
Yeah, that's how I'd drive it.
is that how you reckon
Yeah,
you would
because
drive
what
it?
you have to do is when you're in Birmingham, you have to hide behind the rear pillar.
Oh,
So do you know, someone
yeah.
attacks you, they can't get you.
And then elbow delete. Now before we try and start the car, we need to add oil. This tool, let's get the wheel off. Inside the car. Wow. And it's not as easy as just pouring it in. First, I'm going to remove the front wheel so we can access that broken oil cooler at the front. Luckily, all the suspension looks all okay, but now we can see this broken oil cooler, or at least the pipes are broken. What I'm going to do here is remove the pipes further down the line and then try and bridge the gap bypassing the oil cooler. Here's our new oil cooler, it's going to bridge the gap. Bridge the gap. This pipe's now going to bridge the gap, bypassing the oil cooler, which would just be enough to hold oil in the car to get this car started for the first time. Now we can send the car down and add some oil to the engine. We'll go whack in anything for now, because we will need to service it when we change that oil cooler. So let's whack in anything just to get it started. In goes the Valvoline oil, just so we know we're not starting this car dry. Okay, there's just enough Valvoline to start it. It takes a lot more than that, but we only want to get it running for like 3 seconds just to know what we're dealing with here and whether we've got a bargain or I wanted to say something beginning with B. Bargain or a broken car. Okay, time to start it. Well, at least try. Well, we've got restraint system fault, which I think is because of that crash sensor on the front. The car is missing a crash sensor just above that oil cooler, which is why the airbag light will be on. Start engine. So give it a go?
Yeah, try it.
But no matter how many times I tried pressing the start button,
Nothing?
the engine wouldn't go. Nothing. Not even trying. No. No start. First thing, before I plug in my OBD, let's check the pyro. But the airbags haven't gone. No airbags have deployed in this car. And normally if an airbag deploys, then the pyro fuse breaks, stopping you from starting the car again. So the chances the pyro fuse has gone is low, but it's still worth checking. So, what's interesting is that when I check the car out on Car Vertical, even though this car isn't registered as damaged, it's still showing up that it was on lease or finance. But because it was, that auction place is a repossession finance place, I called them and they said that they would clear the finance once the car's sold. That's what they do at these type of auctions. What's interesting is that it shows up as damaged on Car Vertical, but it's not been categorised. So somewhere this has gone for an assessment and they've logged it somewhere that it's been damaged. And because this car doesn't have a category on it, it means that the owner never claimed for insurance from the accident.
Pyro fuse.
Pyro fuse.
But it looks intact.
But to be sure, we need to test this thing to make sure it's sending power to the starter motor. Someone's already played with this, look, the cap's off. Okay, now I'm just gonna see, so first off, just to make sure it's working. 12 volts. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if I've got 12 volts after the pyro fuse.
12 volts.
12 volts after the pyro fuse?
Yeah.
So it don't start, the pyro fuse is fine. My next step was to plug in my OBD reader to see if it had that crash data stored on the ECU. And if it does, we should be able to clear it. Right, I'm going to clear the faults before anything. Let's see what comes back. Got one fault for engine, power steering, headlamp, parking sensor. Interestingly, no SRS module, no airbag module, even though that crash sensor's off. Try it. So there's no crash data on the car, but we still couldn't start it. It's completely dead. Look at this, in here, Joe was on about the crash sensor on the front. This is it. Surely that ain't the reason why it's not starting. Right, so this, plug in, that, what we won't want to do is knock it. I've now plugged the crash sensor in at the front. I'm just going to give that a go now. Give it a go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on. Nothing. But still nothing. We then went round checking all the fuses, and it looks like someone had already been in all these places before, doing the same thing that we've done. And this was confusing, until this fault code appeared. Ah! I think I found it. Do the brake lights come on?
Press them. Right now, no.
Brake switch gone.
Really?
So it doesn't think it doesn't think you're pressing the brake.
Is that what? Is that error code?
Look, switch A for brake pedal has a malfunction. The signal comparison is faulty. The brake pedal switch is gone. Because if you don't put your foot on the brake, if it doesn't think your foot's on the brake, the car won't start.
So we've got to get a new switch.
But it seems weird though that it's crashed and the brake pedal's gone. But who knows? Weirder things have happened. So now I'm removing the trim near the pedals so I can access the brake pedal switch. And if we can somehow bypass the switch to think the brake's on, we might actually be able to start the car.
Do you know if this is the brake light switch?
Yeah.
This is the bargain.
You reckon?
Could it be as simple as this? A non-runner simply because of this small switch here, which is on the brake pedal. It looks okay, but who knows? I'm going to start removing it, see if there's any issues with it. It must just be a little sensor on there. When that's touching metal, it must know that the brake pedal's off, or when it's touching the brake pedal. So I think the sensor's falter. Okay, if I connect this up now, the light should technically be on because it's not pressed against the brake pedal. Connected.
Yeah, it's on. The brake lights are on.
It's on.
Brake light's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so if you press the ignition now, it should start?
It should. Well, we think if that's the fault, let's try it. If I press the button now, this car should start. No. Unless it needs brake pressure as well. So even with the brake switch working now, the car wouldn't start. We still don't know why. It just seems weird.
If the engine
No, but it
sees,
had oil in it.
it is definitely not a bargain.
It had oil in it.
But what if it was seized, it wouldn't have oil in it?
Someone said this had oil in the gearbox.
But that wouldn't cause it to seize.
Unless the engine can't turn because it's stuck in a gear. But we got it in neutral.
Yeah, it rolled.
Now that the brake switch was fixed, another code appeared on the auto, saying we had a faulty starter motor. Starter motor? Do you know last year,
Yes.
we bought a Rolls Royce
Yeah.
and we had to take the whole engine out
Yep.
to change the starter motor?
And that had cream interior as well, and it was black.
It did.
And we took that to Switzerland. Oh no. Is the engine
Yeah,
coming
we
out?
never got that fault before, but we wouldn't have got that fault if the brake wasn't pressed. So could it have a faulty starter motor? What are the chances the starter motor breaks as soon as you have an accident? Again, weirder things have happened, so now we've got the car in the air to see if we can access that starter motor. Basically, what it's going to do is get some 12 volt here, and then instead of relying on the signal from the car by me pressing the button to turn the starter motor, my dad's going to manually do it.
I'm going to be the signal.
Now, if it doesn't, we know we've got a bad starter motor. But if it does, if the starter motor turns and the engine turns, then we've got something else going wrong. But at the minute, we cannot get the engine to turn. My dad's now going directly on the starter motor and going to send power to it. Starter motor's dead, but there was nothing.
Okay, starter motor's dead. Is starter motor dead because
Engine very bad.
engine very bad? Yeah.
Can we test that?
Yeah.
Shall we see?
But do you know, the chances of you crashing and then your starter motor failing, like, we've got to have luck on our side. Because what are the chances you crash and then your starter motor fails?
So what we can do now is we try and get a socket on the front puller and see if we can turn the engine over.
Yeah, and if we can't, engine very bad.
Yes.
And starter motor very bad. Because starter motor struggled to turn the engine over, which was very bad, and gave up. So it's a chain reaction of events. Brake pedal light wouldn't allow us to turn the starter motor. Fix the brake pedal light. Now, starter motor not allowing us to turn the engine. But do we fix the starter motor, then we have a broken engine. It's a chain reaction. Let's hope not. Let's hope he crashed and then the starter motor goes, well, I ain't starting anymore. We're going to go on the front puller, try and turn the engine over by hand. If we can turn it over by hand, massive relief, it's just a starter motor. If we can't, big woo-woo.
That is solid. You would have been. It would have moved at least a bit.
That's seized.
Oh no.
What are the chances of crashing, engine seizes, starter motor going and brake light switch going all at the same time?
1 in a million, but it's happened.
Only to us. I don't get how it's happened. I really don't get it. How can that have happened? Unless it's all of a sudden come to a stop and the gearbox has like seized it or something. Like the gearbox locks up and it seized the engine.
Well, as we said, there's always a reason why they're at auction.
And then also, if you crash, why would you not claim for insurance?
Maybe it wasn't insured.
This is so weird. How was the engine seized up? It's not because it's starved of oil, because there was oil in it. And surely it must have been running at the time of the accident for it to have the accident. That's unless something crashed into it when it was static. But then was the engine already seized, then someone crashed into it? Nothing's adding up. Also, again, looking at the car vertical report, this car was MOT'd in 2023 and hasn't had another one since. So the engine must have seized between 2023 and now. So it could have been off the road for a long time. Don't make sense, it's fucking annoying. How's the engine seized up? It don't make any sense.
Well, it's coming out. The engine's got to come out.
Yeah,
no
I think let's
can get the engine out, and then we can take a spark plug out.
Okay, yeah, let's take the engine out. Let's take the engine out. We'll assess the engine. Either way, the engine's got to come out. It's broken. These cars don't have an unboltable subframe underneath, so the engine's got to come out from the top. Nightmare, but we're gonna have to do it. 6 days. Come on. 6 days left to get this car on the road, and we can't even get it running yet, and we have no idea why. Either way, we've got to remove the engine, whether we're going to be fixing it or finding a completely new one. First off, the radiator comes off. Then we could go underneath, and we thought it might be easier to remove the engine if it didn't have the gearbox connected to it. So we're going to remove the prop shaft and then start unbolting the gearbox from the engine. Then that should come down separately. And it seems the rumours about the gearbox weren't true at all. It looked fine. And the torque converter, which stayed on the engine, looked all good as well. But who knows, the gearbox could actually be seized up. With that out, we could bring the engine back down and start disconnecting all the wiring and everything connecting the engine to the car. I'm removing the headlight here because there's some wiring in the wheel arch I need to disconnect and thread through onto the engine. Okay, all we got to do now, we're going to try and lift it. The gearbox is out. We're going to try and lift the engine up and pull it out from the front. Maybe we'll see if there's any water in the engine. That's the only thing I can think of why this engine is broken. That is the only thing I can think of. Did the car somehow crash into water and it sucked up some parts of the water and seized the engine? Well, I guess once we get this engine out, we should be able to find that out. And we're almost there now. I'm pulling. I'm pulling. All that. Yay! Engine's out. Imagine it turns over now. Okay, now we took the starter motor away from the flywheel. So if we take it off the flywheel, we're going to see if the starter motor was good all along. Or did the starter motor perish because the engine had locked up? We just want to try and add 2 and 2 together. We're still trying to figure out what exactly happened to this car.
Hey, are we ready? What I thought it was be dead. And it is. It's dead.
Okay. Next thing, we've got to have a look down the cylinder to see what has happened to this engine. Is it flood damaged or not? And then I think the best way to do that is check down these spark plug holes, and we're going to have a look to see if there's any water down there. Because what the hell, like, either way the engine has to come out, because if it is seized, well, it is seized, we've got to find out the reason why it was seized. And yeah, spark plugs is the best way to look. Little camera down.
It might not be seized. Might just be the chain snapped and it's jammed up.
Could be. If there's no evidence down here, then it must be the chain snap. So to find out the mystery of what's gone wrong with this engine, I'll start taking apart the coil packs so we can access the spark plugs. The coil packs are on the top of the engine and they're almost in pairs. Both of them are now removed. Oh, there goes Bob. And now I can undo the spark plugs. And I should be able to then see down into the cylinders. Once the spark plugs are removed, nothing looks abnormal. Apart from this one, which was very oily. So, in goes the camera. which revealed absolutely nothing. Inside the cylinder, it looked fine, nice and dry, and nothing abnormal. I then put it down another cylinder, and again, everything looked normal. So that oil must have just been some excess that someone has spilt when topping up the oil. Every cylinder was consistent and didn't look any different. We then moved on to the other side of the engine. Remember, it's a V8. We need to check 8 cylinders. Again, spark plugs look fine. And inside these cylinders, they were fine as well. Right, now that the spark plugs are out, see if we can turn it. With the spark plugs out, there'll be no compression in the cylinders, so the engine should turn really easy. Okay. So we're going to give that a go now.
Go on, then.
But still, it was locked.
That is stuck.
It's locked up.
Yeah, that's got nowhere.
What has happened? What has happened? There's no logical explanation for it. If a chain had snapped, you'd be able to turn it at least one way, just a little bit.
Try it that way.
No fluid inside the cylinders. No sign anywhere else that anything's gone wrong. If a chain had snapped, you'd be able to at least turn it a little bit.
Unless it is like fully wedged. Like the chain's just wedged up.
I honestly don't know. I have no idea what's gone wrong with this. It needs stripping apart further to even find the problem. We've rebuilt one of these engines before. It was very odd. We struggled to get an engine block for one of these. We had to buy one for the car. So the only option I can think of right now is to just cut the losses now and just try and find a second-hand engine on eBay, because this one is starter motor's toast, the engine's toast. We don't know if the gearbox is any good either, because it had the fluid coming out of it. And what else is broken on here? What's the reason why it broke? I just can't.
It's baffling.
Something's
gone wrong. Is what's happened.
Thanks, Lil.
Something's gone wrong.
Yeah, something's gone wrong. I think we're going to have to find an engine or a gearbox.
How long we got till we go away?
Well, we've got 5 days.
We've got 5 days left on
Saturday the 13th. Well, this is a mystery. This engine is 100% seized up, but it had oil in it and there was no water inside the cylinders. So it would need stripping apart further to find out the problem. And we only had 5 days. Now this engine is in many cars. One of the cars it's used in is the DBX. And we rebuilt one of these engines in my dad's DBX before, which was flood damaged. It was a tricky engine to build and the parts were hard to find. So instead of wasting time trying to figure out what's wrong with this engine, I went on the hunt to see if I could get a second-hand one. But if you would like to find out what's happened to this engine, it'll be a great time for all you guys who are watching now to hit the subscribe button, and we can strip this engine apart in the future. For now, we managed to find a solution. Here it is. After many after many sourcing in one day, well, pretty much one day, we've managed to get an engine, and we managed to convince him to sell the gearbox with the engine rather than split it, because we weren't 100% sure on our gearbox with that as well, because if it was the gearbox which seized, which caused the engine to go, we weren't risking it. So we got a good deal off a 2023 Mercedes G-Wagon. I hope it's going to work. We're going to whack this in. We need to make sure that everything on this we've got on there and so on and so forth. We're going to put it all in together. We're not risking rebuilding that engine, especially in that time frame, and especially how difficult and complex these engines are, as we found out on the DBX. We haven't had much luck with second-hand engines before. So we really hope Liam's mate, who's really trustworthy, comes through here.
Why is he my mate?
So we're playing it safe. we've got a second-hand engine and gearbox. But because of the price that we got the G-Wagon for, even by doing this, we're still under the budget. That's providing this engine and gearbox actually works. Now all we got to do is fit it.
Yes.
Yay! Woo! Okay, engine's in. The engine's called Wender, and this is Wayne. Wendy meet Wayne, Wayne meet Wender. Please agree with each other. The engine and gearbox is now sitting in the car, and there's a few things we've got to repair before we start bolting it all in. First thing are those oil lines, which we bridged at the start of the video. My dad's now going to start removing them, and we ordered some new ones from Mercedes, which we're going to put in place. And because the radiator is now off the front of the car, this has made it much easier to fit these oil lines, because they go in right into the front of the engine here. Whilst my dad's doing that, we're at the top of the engine, fitting the lambda sensors into the catalytic converters which connect onto the turbos, with Nico closely watching. Then some of the wiring's got to go in. The wiring goes under the arch and sort of behind the headlight, and each one of these connects from the body to the engine wiring loom. And now I thought it was a good time to give the engine a service. So out come the old air filters out of the air boxes, which have seen better days, and in goes the new air filters. They just push into place, the airbox bolts back together, and then I can slide it back onto the car. So we've got some fresh filters for the turbos to suck up some nice clean air into. And of course, with it being a V8 twin turbo, there's 2 air filters. So we've got to replace both air filters for both turbos. Now we can tighten the exhaust onto the back of the hot side of the turbos, then in goes the engine ECU. This is the original ECU from the car, and these sit right next to the turbos. And because of that, the ECU gets hot, and that's why it has coolant running over the top of it to keep all the electrics nice and cool. It'd probably make more sense to put this somewhere else, but never mind.
All pipes are on. Electricals connected up. Time for the rad.
Do you think she's going to start?
Loads of confidence. Of course it's going to start. Why shouldn't it start?
Did we check the starter motor on this car and then it turned over before putting it in?
No.
Did we not?
No.
Okay, that would be...
Just going for it.
So we've trusted your friend from Birmingham.
Trusted the Birmingham people. They've never let us down before.
Let's hope this works. In goes the radiator pack at the front, then the heat shielding over the turbos, and then loads of other trims and braces to finish this engine up inside the engine bay. And that's almost everything done on top of the engine. Everything is in on the top to an extent. Next step, send it in the air, connect the gearbox, connect the engine mounts, connect the prop shafts, connect the diff, connect everything underneath. Up it goes. So underneath, we're now connecting up the front differential and then the prop shaft, which goes to the rear differential. Make sure those bolts are all nice and tight. The gearbox cooler, brand new second-hand one, going in place, which doesn't have the broken bit on. Let's put it in. We're gonna have to do some crazy gearbox filling afterwards, I think. Most of these parts we was able to find on eBay or from breakers yards. Some parts were available at Mercedes, but others had a long wait time. So it was better for us to buy second-hand, which was a little bit cheaper in some cases. Now I'm connecting up the cooler, which has oil lines going into the gearbox, and then the 2 coolant lines which run to the front of the car for a radiator. Once that's all connected, there's more braces which go underneath the prop shaft and the gearbox, which my dad and Liam are connecting now. This big one here sits underneath the gearbox, and the gearbox mount bolts to this. So this one's pretty vital. And that's pretty much everything underneath bolted up. Time for an oil change. Let's drop all the oil out of this second-hand engine because we have no idea where it's been or when its last service was, or even if it runs. We've just been told it does. And we're also going to be taking out the oil filter as well. And it doesn't look too bad. The oil filter was fairly clean. Old oil filter, new oil filter. Okay. Now we can put in the new oil filter and tighten that up. 25 Newton meters. Got it. about there. And finally, the sump plug can go back into the sump, tighten that back up, and once we're happy with that, that should be most of the stuff all connected underneath the car. Nearly time for the fluids. Yay! Okay, we can't put oil in it yet because we've got these oil cooler lines which are just chilling there doing nothing. But luckily, we've got our brand new oil cooler with radiator on the front because the old one was perished. Don't know where it's gone. Oh, it's over there. Good riddance. Let's put this one on. But when we started fitting the oil cooler and the auxiliary radiator, we noticed some of the panels were a little out of place. Headlight bracket is bent, but I think we might be able to bend it back safely. And to do so, I'm going to have to remove this front wing, which is damaged anyway, but now you can see how far back the headlight bracket was. Time to do some bending. I think because this car's steel, we should be able to bend it. This is really strong here, so I'm going to use this as my pushing point and go to there. Whilst I got that set up, Liam's installing the crash sensor into the bracket on the front of the car, tightening that up. And then I'm getting the porter push, I think it's called, resting it against a strong point on the car. Then I'm going to start pushing it against the headlight bracket, which is steel, and hopefully will bend back into place.
Pump it.
Yeah?
Pump it.
And then trying to hammer out the crease in it, so then the bracket would actually stay in its place that I've bent it back to. And then the oil cooler can actually bolt to the headlight bracket.
Body shot. Body shot. Body shot. Body shot.
Moved. Oh, and it stayed in its place. This seems to have worked. Everything now seems to be bolting in its place without having to bend or move anything out of the way. And even the oil lines all line up to the oil cooler now. It's looking promising. Whilst they're finishing off doing last little bits here and there, I'm going to go get the oil to put in to the G-Wagon, and then fingers crossed we get the first start up. See you later. Bye. The last final bits are now going on the radiator, like the air guides on each side. My dad's putting one on the right hand side and Liam's doing the one on the left hand side. Then there's a panel which goes on the top, which holds the bonnet latches in. And whilst they're doing that, I'm off to go get some Valvoline oil. And this is where we can get Valvoline from. As you guys know, we've been part of the Valvoline team for a long time now. And some of you guys have asked, where do we get Valvoline in the UK? Well, the best place to go is any of your Napa stores across the whole of the UK. And that's where I'm picking up my latest batch of Valvoline. And now that I've got it, and the lads are just finishing off a few final bits, we can start to add the oil. Got the oil! I'm back! 9.5 litres of oil. So, 2 of these, 5 litres each. We're obviously part of the Valvoline squad, the Valvoline crew, and that's all we use in our engines. Maintains and protects, and it also sponsors the Aston Martin F1 team. And whilst we're pouring it in, you can go grab some Valvoline if you want to, with the link in the description. Down we go. It truly is the best type of oil and additives that you can use in your car. Never had any issues with it. And we're proud to be part of the team. Oh! And that's about it. Okay, battery. I don't think we've got enough power, so we're going to go with a jumper on it because we will need to change the battery. Let's hope this works. There's no reason why it shouldn't start now unless there's another issue with it. Gearbox, we ain't done the gearbox fluid. We should be able to start it without a gearbox fluid in. Second-hand engine, second-hand gearbox. I really hope this is going to work. We still have no idea what happened to that old engine. We don't have... That's what's worrying me. If this car was flooded, is there any other electricals that are going to be perished here? Let's give it a go. There's no coolant in, and there's no gearbox oil in it, but we'll do that once we know it starts. Here we go, guys. Oh my God. Moment of truth then. Surely this second-hand engine and gearbox has solved this non-starting issue.
Come on then, What's the delay?
I need it to work. It needs to work. Ready? Going for Sport Plus start. You are joking.
Try again.
Nothing was working. The same as before. Right, we've got auto. See if we can clear the codes. We'll see if the same code is still there. We know full well that engine was seized. We know this one hasn't seized. We checked it. We didn't check the starter motor though. But I'm just thinking now, like the BMW there, has this got a ghost? And that's the reason why it's not doing anything when I press the start button.
How do we find the code?
Apparently if we call this ghost company up, I can't remember what it is, like this ghost company. That's it, Ghostbusters. If you prove you own the car, they will give you the ghost. But at the minute, we haven't got the logbook for the car because we've only just bought it. So we've got a receipt for it, I guess. I scanned the fault codes of the car to see if the same fault with the starter motor would still appear. But after I'd cleared them, the ones which come back were fault codes referring to the communication to the engine and the fact that it didn't have any communication with the engine. You get that fault code if your powertrain control module and body control module won't talk to one another. So our gearbox ECU is not talking to the body control module because that gearbox ECU is completely foreign to this car. It's likely it doesn't like the gearbox because before we were able to move it into neutral. On our old gearbox, we first thought this was the power control module. I don't think that's the ECU. But then we found it wasn't. Yeah. It's in the gearbox. That. Which is that. And it's inside the box. We think the issue is that because we've installed a new gearbox with a new power control module in it, it's not talking to the old ECU that's on the car. Okay, I'm gonna take off this pan off here, take off all the electrics underneath, and I'm gonna take them off the original gearbox and put them on there and hope for the best. We're just grasping at anything now. Let's just try it. And the power control module is inside the gearbox. It's a bit of a job to get out. But we've got no choice. Got it. You said even! Even, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Stay calm. So off comes the gearbox sump, which is full with oil. And then here is all the electrics and the solenoids which control the gears in the gearbox. It's vital we keep this clean when we put the new one in, because any tiny bit of dirt can stop it from going into gear. This is all the electrics and solenoids out of the gearbox which makes it work. Now, we've got to take the one out of that and put it in that. This is a really complex bit of gearbox. It works under pressure control, and the pressure from the oil pushes solenoids which pushes the gearbox into different gears. So now we're going to remove the one out of the original gearbox and put it into a second-hand one. That way, most of the electrics that are on the car are the original electrics. The engine control module is the exact same one that was originally in there, and now the power control module should be exactly the same as the one that was in there. So the car shouldn't know any different. Come on!
Come on, it's got to work.
I think...
What happens if it don't work? What are we doing then?
Well, we haven't done it. We bought an engine and a gearbox. It was a non-runner when we bought it, and it's still a non-runner now.
And
Apart from we have fixed an oil cooler.
But we've took a wing off and a bonnet.
I think it's how you market it. We could like
Yeah.
get some nice photos and
We
stuff.
could clean the interior a bit. Yeah.
Do you actually think it's going to work?
No.
I think it's got potential, but it's the fact it didn't start before.
Nah, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
I mean, sorry, yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
I think
Just
it's
get
gonna
in, press the button, it's gonna go.
What? No hesitation.
No hesitation. But we've got no oil in the gearbox.
Okay. Not even going to test to see if it goes in neutral or anything.
No, just go straight for it.
It still wasn't going.
We try neutral. Oh!
Yes.
Got neutral.
Okay, I think we should read and clear the codes and see if it starts.
So it seems to have fixed the gearbox issue because now we can get neutral again. But still, we have no start. Engine. So now I'm scanning the fault codes again. Okay. So this car, this is not talking to the engine. That engine ECU, whereas before it was. We still have the same fault codes appear. No communication with the engine. And when we try and scan the engine ECU, it just skips past it and goes straight to the transmission. So it's not talking to the engine. So something's not plugged in, or it doesn't like something. But it can't communicate with the engine, and before it did, I'm sure it did, didn't it? I went back to check all the plugs on the engine to make sure that they were all plugged in. What's this one for? That must be for the front bumper. That must be front bumper. And that must be headlight. And all these are definitely plugged in. Oh! This one was a bit loose, this one was a bit loose. It was a bit loose, like it was in but not properly all the way in. Oh yes! Yes! It was just a plug! Oh my god!
It sounds so good! Look at that!
Yes! I didn't even press the brake pedal because the brake pedal thinks it's pressed, doesn't it? Because the switch. Ah! Come on!
It actually worked!
Yes! That's unbelievable.
Smooth! We might not have got scammed.
It worked. Come on! It was just a flipping plug. It was just a plug, and I did that plug. It just started instantly. Let's hope the gearbox works now.
We need to top it with oil.
Yeah, we need to put oil in it and everything. That could be tomorrow's job because it's getting late. Oh. Yes! It sounded good.
Hey, have we actually bought an engine that might be alright?
Don't speak too soon. Well, it's today, Monday the 15th. Today, we could top the gearbox up with oil and start actually rebuilding the crash damage. What the hell was wrong with that other engine? I don't know, but it definitely wasn't that plug. Because we had engine communication before. And that wasn't reading the communication. No. Whether the gearbox change was needed, it would have been. It was needed because we couldn't get neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was needed.
So it was needed.
We did it, yeah.
It sounded so good as well.
I can sleep tonight. I can sleep good tonight. Okay, we need to fill the transmission up with oil. It needs a special kind of oil, so we're waiting for that to arrive. In the meantime, it should be a straightforward rebuild from now, hopefully. Let's start off with the front wing. I had this delivered straight to the body shop so they could paint it as soon as it arrived. And once they're done, I got it delivered back to me. And it's ready to just be fitted straight on. But you can see how far off the wing bolts were from the panel underneath. Which means we need to do some more bending with the porta push. Resting it back in the same place and then jacking it so that the inner wing or the headlight bracket goes back to the place where it should be. And once we're happy in the place, we can whack in a few bolts, and once we remove the porta push, it should all stay in position. Looks good. Looks good. The car's starting to come together now. Let's see if this fits, come on. Now I can slide in the headlight. Few bolts go in the back, and then there's about 4 bolts which sit in the front of it. Right, and then it's in with the other side headlight as well. We've got to hope these work. Okay, headlight's in. eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed that at the start of this video, that right-hand headlight had black inserts. We couldn't get another headlight in time, so we had to get 2 of the silver headlights with the silver inserts. And if that don't work, we've got a huge issue because that's all we could get. This was the other headlight, and I'm hoping, even though that has black and that has silver, it's better having 2 silver than 1 black and 1 silver. Now to test to see if they work, and it's good.
Yes! Everything's working.
Good news there. And it wasn't too expensive. Next up, coolant, baby. The G-Wagon has 2 coolant reservoirs. One which is for the engine cooling, and the other one is for all the turbo cooling. We fill both of them up, and then I could put on the engine cover. Wayne is back together. Engine bay in, engine in. Wendy is in Wayne. We just need to sort out the gearbox situation. Before we get onto the gearbox, we've still got more panels that we can put on the front, like this foam piece we got from Mercedes, the grille which we got from Mercedes as well, and that can all be bolted on. Inside the grille there's a camera and also a radar sensor. Right, grille's in, the camera's in, but that can go in a few different ways, so we're just going to see if the camera is the right way wound before I continue. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's working. Wave! Wave! There he is! Yay! Okay, that's working. My dad's arrived with the transmission oil, so we're going to start pumping that in and do the correct procedure for that, and then we can start bolting on all the panels underneath and then continue on top afterwards. Let's go. There is a special procedure for filling the transmission with oil. Let me try and explain it. And then inside, apparently, there is almost like a straw with windows in, and it has positions 1 to 4. 1 is what we're going to use to fill the oil up, so we fill it up and the window is closed at the bottom, and then 3 was a window at the top, and the oil will pour out that window when it's full, and position 4 is for draining, which is the bottom window, which we've already done. So at the minute we've got the window in position 1 where all the windows are closed, and we're pumping in the fluid into the sump until it starts to pour over and come out of the top. Okay, that's in position 1. We need to go to position 3, but we also need to get its temperature. So my dad's climbing up to the car to start it so he can run the car and go through the gears to get the transmission oil up to temperature and going round the transmission. Once it's done that, we need to add more oil because the transmission has sucked it all through the torque converter and around the transmission cooler and everywhere else it needs to go. There's quite a lot more transmission oil to go in. Then I could turn the straw to position 3 and the oil should start pouring out that window at the top, which will tell us we're at the correct oil level. And once the oil's poured out of that, I turn it back to position 1 where all the windows are closed, and now we know the transmission oil has the correct amount, hopefully. With the transmission done, we can then start putting back on all the under trays and the trims underneath the car, and hopefully we don't have to come here again. With all that bolted up, we could bring the car back down and finally put on the bonnet. We're lining this back up to the original hinges, bolting it to the hinges, and then connecting up all the washer jets to the middle of the bonnet, which just simply clip into place. Then the final part of the front of the car is the Mercedes star that clips together and pushes in place. She's on. She's got a star. Wayne. With the star on, we can then start putting in the indicators which sit in the wing. The connector goes in, they push in, and then there's a plastic surround which goes around it.
Yeah.
Yay! Wayne, it's got little blinkers on. That's cool, they've kept that like old school. I think I like that.
You alright?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, mate. How's it going?
Nice to meet you, mate. How you doing?
How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother.
How are you? You alright?
Good, thank you.
So for the next part of the build, we had to take a trip to a place called Urban. These make body kits most famously for SUVs. There's an urban body kit on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which we bought last year. There's an urban body kit on Hannah's Defender. And they do kits for Uruses and loads of other cars. And what's really interesting, if your G-Wagon has an urban kit on it, well, it's a lot more expensive than one without one.
Yours is in the box.
Yeah.
All ready to go.
Yeah.
I thought I'd lay it out to show you what exactly you're getting.
The kit doesn't look like much when it's laid out on the floor like this, but all of these parts are going to completely transform it.
We don't supply this kit to retail customers.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
If someone's got a G-Wagon, they want it wide track, it has to be brought to us to be fitted.
Yeah.
Or it goes to one of our authorised partners in the UK or internationally.
Yeah.
So obviously,
We've been approved.
You've been
approved and we've learned.
So I don't want people phoning me up saying I want a G-Wagon kit because Matt Armstrong's the one. Yeah. He's been fully approved. He's shown how it all goes together.
We've got the treatment.
He can rebuild Lamborghini with Welto, so I'm pretty sure you're...
So if you contact Urban and ask for a kit separately, you ain't going to get it, basically. But all you guys are going to get to see how we put it on. So let's see. This is going to look sick. Somehow, we managed to bully the guys at Urban into selling us a kit separately. But yes, they normally don't sell it to the public. And that's mainly due to a lot of people buying the kits, scanning them, and then trying to copy them. Which we're obviously not going to do. Right. Back to the unit. Here is the Urban kit. Now we've got to figure out how to fit it because they don't normally sell it to people to fit. But it looks pretty good. It's all been painted now. It's all been lacquered. I don't know where to start, but I think the side skirts is a good place to start because once we put the side skirt on, the arches can go on with that because I think this is 30mm wider each side, which is crazy. So it's going to give it some girth. So first step, let's go to the side skirt, I think. We've got loads to fit. So these side steps actually stay on the car. But what we're going to be removing are these plain plastic trims on the end and replacing them with carbon fibre. But before we do that, we've got to remove the standard arches on both sides of the car. Because these are going to be replaced with carbon fibre ones, which are a little bit wider than the standard ones. So Liam's getting off the left rear one, whilst I'm sweeping up the mess he's leaving behind, and my dad's getting off the other side. These are just held in by 10mm nuts, and then they just pull off. Yeah! With those arches out the way, I can now start undoing the rear bumper, which also has damage to it. And with all the bolts removed for that, I can start pulling it away from the car and disconnect the electrical connections on the bumper, and now we're almost ready to start fitting the kit. Another thing that we do have to remove though is the standard back box, because with the kit you get a new one, as I don't think the standard exhaust works with the kit, but this is the easiest exhaust to remove. There's one clamp, electrical plug, and then it all just slides out of place. Okay, we've got to take out all the wiring loom out of this bumper and all the sensors and everything like that, and put them into the new Urban bumper. And luckily, all the parking sensor clips are already in there, so we can just pop them all in. Let's go. This is a fairly easy job. It's just taking out parking sensors out the old one and popping them into the new one. Once we've done all that, now we can fit the side skirt extensions. Now we think they were supposed to be bolted to the original side step. So first we drilled holes in the side step and then put in a riv nut. But our side steps were pretty corroded and the riv nuts just kept spinning round. So we had to think of a plan B, which was to clean up the aluminium on the side step and then use panel bond, aka Mansory glue, to glue the carbon fibre side skirt extensions to the bottom of the side steps. We can't see this being an issue as long as we've cleaned it up good and we give it time to set. I hope that works. Then the plastic end caps are going to be replaced with these carbon fibre ones on the rear of the side skirt and on the front of the side skirt. Looking good. And then Liam's just going to put some tape just to hold the carbon fibre to the side step whilst it all sets. The bumper is ready to go on. We're going to attach the bumper on and then we can connect the side skirts to the rear bumper via the rear arches, which are 30mm wider. Let's go. Okay, let's get this rear bumper fitted, which is of course wider. This pops into place using the original fittings, then we can fit the registration plate lights into the side of the bumper, screw them in, and then put the final bolts in the side of the bumper, and that is fitted. And pretty good for an aftermarket kit. Bumper's on, looking sick, thick, boy, it's wider. Now, to make the whole car wider, Liam's going to put on the arch, easy as that.
Easy as that.
And I've got the Captain America shield. Have you heard about this as well? Do you know the back of these? If you go around London, the loads of G-Wagons are missing these because all the thieves come up and they just go.
You'd be a terrible thief.
Yeah, not a good thief here. What do you reckon? Yes, I'm thiefing! And now I know how to thief it, I could do it quicker next time. So yeah, it only takes one flathead screwdriver and the rear wheel holder completely comes apart. They're not cheap, so they do get stolen a lot. Yes! So now we can fit the urban one and not go anywhere near London with it. Whilst we're doing that, Liam's put on the rear arch and my dad's put on the other side. Right, now that the rear bumper's on and the rear arch is on, we need to put the front bumper on before we put the front arches on. Before we put the front bumper on, we've got to put these headlight surrounds in. And before we put the headlight surrounds in, we've got to put the pipe, which goes to the washer, inside here, freshly painted from the body shop. Thanks, body shop. The pipe slides onto the headlight washer, then clips on with a clip, and then the surrounds just push in. Next up, the front bumper. Now, we didn't have a front bumper for the car, so that's why we got an urban one. But we did have to buy all the parking sensors and the front bumper wiring loom as well. So we're gonna have to plug that in. We do have an engine management light on the dashboard at the minute, and that will be the key to get it off. That's the ambient air temperature sensor, so then the car will know how hot it is or cold it is outside the car, and it won't cry about it anymore. Again, it's just a case of clipping the parking sensors into the holes, and once they're all in, there's a few more carbon trims that need to slide into place and then bolt down, and that front bumper is ready to go on. As you all know, with aftermarket body kits, they usually take a little bit of modification to get fitting right. To be fair, this one seems to be going in pretty good, using all the original bolt holes. Once the front bumper's on, I can now slide in the front wider arches, with that nice bit of carbon on the outer edge. Then not forgetting to plug in the front bumper wiring loom. And what a transformation that's already made. Right here is a massive Wampa carbon stick-on bonnet. It's going to make us go faster. Liam's, we need extra Mansory glue on this, because if this flies off, I bet this is expensive. We're going to try and get everything that needs to be Mansory glued on now, because it's Tuesday the 16th. Again at 12:10 at night. So we want to get it on now, so when we come to work tomorrow, it's all stuck on. Out comes the Mansory glue again. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. Liam's popped it all around the edges of this carbon bonnet, and it simply just sticks in. And we eyeballed it into place. Once we were happy where it sat, we put a load of weight on it to hold it into place to make sure it sets good overnight. So leave that to set overnight then. I think that's how they do it at Urban, to be fair. Okay, bumpers on, bonnet's on, it's a new day. It's actually the 16th of December now, and we're looking really good. But there's still an exhaust to go on, which fits these new lower side skirts. There's still a light bar to go on the top. There's still a spoiler to go on the top. The interior needs cleaning out and putting back together. It's filth there, and a windscreen to go on. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop the wheels on now, the stock wheels, which are going to sit way deep in the arch, but just so I can move it off the ramp. That way I can get into the interior, because I think Jimmy B's coming to clean it all and Screensaver coming to put the new screen in. Then we can get on with fitting the exhaust and the rest after that. So let's get these wheels on, and roll it off the ramp. We're getting there, we're getting there. On go the wheels. This has been a monstrous job, but unfortunately, there's still more surprises with it. Okay, battery's been flat since we've had it. All this interior I need to put back in. I think it's time Wayne got a new batteries. We're going to start by removing the standard Mercedes AGM battery, and just like most cars which have been sat at auction, they're completely flat. We do try and revive most of them, but unfortunately the AGM ones just seem that once they're flat, they're really hard to get going again. But for 120 quid off eBay, I grabbed a Duracell battery to replace it with. No exhaust, start up. Well, it does have a bit of an exhaust. Oh my God, it's disgusting in here. It's actually disgusting. We're about to undisgust it, but I'm going to move it forward so Jimmy can get in both sides and I can put the rest of the interior in. No, is there no back box start up? Don't need to foot on the brake because the brake switch is still bodged up. Ooh. Right, start putting back the interior. Oh, we should fit the spoiler. We should fit the spoiler first because that's going to take a long time to dry because again, that's glued on. Let's do that. So one of these carbon things is the spoiler because G-Wagons need downforce apparently. Again, this is going on with Mansory glue. Once we've applied it, we've cleaned the surface area, and now me and Matt are going to position it in place and then put a bit of weight on it before putting some masking tape just to hold it down whilst it sets. Job done there. Next step is putting the interior back together so Jimmy can clean it all. We think this was all taken apart to look for fuses by the previous owner to work out why the car wasn't starting, which was quite worrying because if they just tried to turn the engine over like we did, they would have found that the engine was completely seized. But never mind. It doesn't change the fact we've got to put all these trims back in. And luckily, we've got them all. Sometimes at auction, a lot of things end up going missing.
Beautiful.
Now, it's Jimmy B's turn to clean this car. With the cream carpets, it's looking awful.
What are you doing here then, Jimmy?
We're just doing a 50-50 to see how dirty the seats actually are.
Oh.
Jimmy's put a bit of tape down the middle of the seat and is only cleaning one side. Then we can see when he removes the tape how dirty the seat actually is. That's not a shadow, that is dirt. So Jimmy's got a job on his hand to clean all of these cream seats and pretty much the whole interior, including the chocolate style dashboard. And the more he cleans it up, the more I do like it. I just don't understand having an off-road vehicle with a really light interior. Surely it's always going to get dirty. But maybe we've got scope in the future to change it or customise it to make it more of our own. The floor mats are clean, the carpet's clean, now he's doing the rear of the car as well. And it's looking brand new. Very classy. Next step, the windscreen has a huge crack in it. But screensaver are here and they've got me a new screen to go in place. All of the rain sensors need to be unplugged out of the screen, then the window wipers will come off and then they can cut the original glass out. They've then got to prep the surface, getting rid of all the old glue sitting on the car, and then apply the new glue to the new screen. And with the suction mounts, they can slide the new screen back into place. It's actually not that big of a windscreen, and to be fair, it wasn't that expensive for a Mercedes screen as well. Then all the sensors can go back in, and the trims, and that is job done. This is the old back box, and I don't think it fits with the new Urban kit. I did have a full Valvetronic system spot on this car, but again, I don't think it's going to fit with the Urban kit because it sits a lot lower. And with the Urban kit, you actually get a new exhaust, which is Miltech. This is it. So you can see the difference. You've got back box, that valve will open and close. When that's closed, sends the exhaust gases through the back box, which is a lot smaller. When it's open, it's basically a straight pipe out. But I assume this will fit with the new kit. So I'm gonna fit the Miltech because we've got the Miltech now, but we're gonna have to switch over the valves. What do the exhaust tips look like? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That looks sick.
Yeah, they're nice. Satin black. Stealth. Okay. So now I'm removing the standard valve off the standard exhaust and putting it into the Miltech exhaust, making sure I line the spring up with the new valve. Slide that down onto the studs, tighten the nuts on, and now I can put back in the easiest exhaust to install in the world. Leave that a bit loose. So when I put the tips on, I'm going to line them up there, and then I should be able to adjust this round for the tips. Let's go get the tips. Wow. Look at these. That's looking nice. I like the staggered. I think staggered. Or should I bring it in so it's flush? I don't know. Now to do the same on the other side. The weird thing about these exhausts is that each side you only hear 4 cylinders. But we'll find out what that sounds like. We're almost there, and 16th of December, 5:15. Few more things to do. There is a light bar to go on top. That's got to be wired in. We're not sure how to do that. We're going to have to figure it out. But I fitted the Miltech exhaust whilst Jimmy was cleaning the interior. Let's listen to it. Hopefully it sounds classy. Ooh! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Okay, we've got a lot of faults because what we need to do is have the cruise control calibrated, but last thing, crash bar on the top. So going back to the light bar, we actually lost the wiring kit for this, so we've had to make our own. Okay, my dad's putting the aircon back into the car, so we've got air conditioning, and now we've got this roof light. So there's 2 LEDs, positive, negative, and this is going to sit on the roof, and we've got to figure out how we can power this up. So we might have to drill a hole in the roof and then run these cables down into the interior. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's start drilling into the roof. I'll put the wire through and see if I can find it on the other side. If I can't, I'm going to have to drill even deeper. I can now slide the wire in through the interior, and I'm going to remove this sun visor so that I can find it on the other side. So what I want it to do is come down here, and I want to put the switch about here, so I can tick, tick, right near it there. Now I'm just going to remove this A-pillar trim, so I've got a place to slide the wire down. There we go. There's a load of fuses in here, so what I want to do is work out what they do. Then I can take the power off for hopefully one of them, and hopefully what would be good is if I can only take the power off if some of the fuses only work when the ignition's on. So this light won't work unless the ignition's on, which would be perfect because then I know it's not draining power when the ignition's turned off. Before I do that, I'm going to add the Mansouri glue onto the light bar, and then it's got time to set. I've also put a little bit around the hole that I made in the roof as well to stop any water coming in. Then tape it down. 30 amp fuse going in there, ignition live that is, so it's only live when the ignition is live. Here, this is my power, this is power, this is our key to success. This power is gonna go, here's our switch that we got from Halfords, right? It's got 3 prongs on it, ignore the bottom prong, that's just for the light on there, don't care about that. So I'm gonna put power, go into the gold one. Power is there, hello, there's power, okay? Then, the red off the light, that's going to go to the middle of the switch there. So, and power is not going to be allowed to go to that switch unless I flick it like that. Then, the ground off the light, the other wire, I'm just going to ground straight to the car, and that should be a nice, safe switch, which will be fused as well, so it shouldn't cause any fires. Let's see if it works. Okay. Hopefully this makes sense. So here's my piggy bank fuse, which I'm piggy banking off the electric windows, which only work with the ignition on. Right, so this is off the lights. This is the red and black off the lights. I assume the black means it's ground. So I'm now just making a connection for the LED ground wire. We're gonna heat that up, and then we're gonna find a ground near the fuse box. And there's one right next to it, which is perfect. I can steal it off there, and then bolt that up. Once that's in, I now need power to the LEDs. This power wire is going directly to the switch because this switch is powered by our ignition live that we've just put on it. And now to test it. Yeah, boy! After that, I've just got to find a place to install the switch. I didn't want to drill into the dashboard, so just below it into the carpet seemed good enough. I know I probably should have added a relay to this, but I can't see there being any issue in running power to this little switch just to power up some LEDs on top of the roof. Once I've drilled the hole, I can put the switch into the carpet and start installing all the trims back to where they were. Sweet. Okay. I think we're just about ready to test drive it for the first time. Let's do it. The next morning, we were on the road for the first time in the G-Wagon. Everything was going great. There was a few lights on the dashboard, just due to the front radar sensor not being calibrated yet, but the car was good enough to get us to a place we needed to get the final part from to finish the build. Here we go, Wheel Mania for the final piece of the puzzle. We always come here to finish the builds off, and this is definitely what it needs. It needs them wheels to fill out the arches on the G-Wagon before we attempt to make it to Switzerland. This has been one hell of a build and in one hell of a quick time. Let's go to Wheel Mania, get these wheels fitted to the G-Wagon. Come on. Wheel Mania have supported me from the very start, like a lot of you guys, and still when I walk through these doors, I feel the same excitement as what I did the first time I did. Oh, these are going to be very controversial. Look at them bad boys. They look like Formula 1 wheels.
They look unreal.
So these actually come with the Urban kit, and they're almost like Mansory-esque style wheels, like what I had on the Rolls Royce. Made by Vossen, collaborated with Urban and supplied by Wheel Mania. And look, we're not stupid this time, look. We got winter tyres on, so hopefully we won't be sliding all over the place when we get into Switzerland on the mountain. A very controversial wheel choice, but it's all included with the Urban kit. And I think with these wheels on, it's really going to stand out from the rest. Again, thank you to Wheel Mania for supporting me through all these years. The wheels are on, but we're not showing you just yet. We're just waiting for the centre caps to fully finish it off. They're very controversial, but I do think they suit the car. I think there's going to be there's always mixed opinions on the wheels. We're nearly there now. Let's get back home, get packed, and we're going to start heading to Switzerland. My dad's DBX is also here now, getting on the winter tyres, because I think it is actually a legal requirement in Switzerland this time of year as well. So winter tyres on the DBX. That's not been on the road trip since we rebuilt the engine on that. And remember, if you need to get wheels, tyres, or wheel refurbishments, Wheel Mania is a place to go. Links in the description. Now, let's see the G-Wagon.
Okay, we're breaking down.
Oh. Oh. Not on the motorway.
We were supposed to be leaving to Switzerland tonight.
I think the diff's gone, innit? Or the drive shaft. Ooh. I think I smell gear oil. Just when it was going well, on the way back from Wheel Mania, the car started making a horrendous noise.
Ethan, are you busy?
Where are you?
We're on the side of the M42 in a G-Wagon.
I can be not busy.
Yeah, if you could not be busy, yeah, that would be ideal. This isn't good.
Should we try and get it off the motorway?
If we can try, yeah.
Let's try. It sounded like a drive shaft had broken, or even the differential, but with no warning at all. Poor Wayne.
Actually, he's supposed to leave to Switzerland in about 6 hours.
I did say we were a day in advance, because we were aiming to leave on Thursday, weren't we?
Okay, well, we're all good then.
It does feel like back right, but so close as well. We managed to get off the motorway and to a services, where we can leave the car and wait for Ethan to arrive to pick us up.
Ethan!
Hello. What do you mean, why am I so smart?
Why so smart?
What, do you want me to look like a dosser?
You normally do. Okay, we have literally got less than a day to find out what's gone wrong with the G-Wagon, and less than a day to fix it. So let's get it back to the workshop.
Oh, do that again. Oh, that's the sound of the gearbox.
Yeah, the only way I can tell, I think, is if I get in the car. It's not this front one, is it? Only way I can tell is if I get in the car, drive it, and then we listen. Yeah, Hannah, you get in.
What do you think of G-Wagons?
Yeah, I like it. Do you know the only thing I don't like is the door noise. It's like, why is it so loud?
Oh, I think it's the diff. I think the diff's gone. Oh no. The noise seems to be coming from the rear differential, so it's time to inspect it. Has this got oil in it? Yeah, it's got oil. Oil in it. It's such a strange thing to fail on a 4x4 car, especially a G-Wagon. So something must have gone wrong. And we found it. Oh yeah, I think that's Polish in there. Oh yeah, there's bearings all broken. Yeah, look, the roller bearings are missing in there. Okay, stop. Yeah, I think it looks like there's meant to be roller bearings in there. So we're pretty confident that the rear diff has gone. But why is the rear diff gone at 51,000 miles? Surely they've got a better lifespan than that. So let's just see how much oil is in it. I don't think they take much oil as it is, but it definitely doesn't look like it's leaked out. So,
oh,
oh my god, that looks metallic-y. But as we've learnt with the engine, it can still have oil in it and still seize. So is it the same situation for the diff? We're about to find out. Yeah, look. It's wound itself too tight.
Yeah, that's a diff locker.
Yeah. The bearings in the diff have completely self-destructed. Again, another mystery mechanical failure of this car. The engine goes with no warning or explanation, and the same with the rear differential. The bearings have just collapsed in it. But rather than div around and try and work out how this happened, we was on such a short time scale that I needed to take action and start fixing it. And regardless, this differential needs to come out, and I think the quickest way to get it out is to remove the whole rear beam. So right now, I was on smoke. Releasing this whole rear beam from the car, disconnecting the brake lines, suspension and wiring to eventually get the rear beam on the floor and then try and work out a solution of how we're going to fix this in time. Right, that's the rear frame off. We think this was the easiest way. I think Liam is on the way to the same guy we bought the engine from to say, believe it or not, we need your rear differential. This is going to probably put this build a lot over budget now. Let's see how much he wants for the rear diff. And I think if we just try and change the whole thing, the one thing I'm worried about is these electric units here. Like, do I keep this same electric unit on this, or do we keep it off the breaker car? And if the breaker car, it's whether the breaker car will communicate with the computer. But if that computer in there is the reason why this is gone. We don't want to keep that one on, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one. We can change it whilst it's in the car though, so we can make that decision afterwards. Let's get this out of the way. New diff, whole rear beam. We're not messing around. We're not messing around. I really hope this is going to work. So we've got everything. We even kept the bloody brake discs on. This is now become pointless because we've spent way over what we should have. But we do have a car vertical, technically clear car at the end. Now, let's lift this bad boy onto the back of this. I'm just really worried about that diff. I'm really worried about it. I don't know whether this one's going to last. I don't want it to break. Now again, like the engine, we probably could spend some time on trying to rebuild the differential. But at this point, it's time we don't have. But that's not to say we can't rebuild it in the future and put it up for sale. We're just hoping that this second-hand differential is going to solve our issues. And it's not an electrical fault which is causing the differential to lock and break. We still have no idea what happened to this car to cause all these issues. The only clues we've been given are on that car vertical report. It looks like it's been off the road between 2023 and now. The fact that the car was on lease or finance, but it never went for insurance when it was damaged. And if the car had gone for insurance and got auctioned off at a car crash auction site, it would be likely that on the car vertical report, it would show you photos of the damage on it. But in this case, it only shows us that the car was damaged, but doesn't have a category. But remember, if any of you guys are looking at buying a car this year, be sure to check it out on Car Vertical first, and make sure you use my discount code to save a bit of money on that check as well. Okay, that's a whole rear frame in a matter of hours. I'm going to bleed the brakes because we removed the brake lines, and I'm going to read the codes to make sure that this control unit on the front is talking to the rest of the car, because I'm thinking we might have to take that control unit off and switch it with the control unit that was already on, which is there. It is only about 4 bolts to hold it on, but all that control unit does is a little pin, and it slides in and out like that. It goes left to right to lock the diff in and out. And so as long as it's not locked in the in position, we should be okay. I just need to know whether it's communicating with it. Just a bit worried. So it's all this electric stuff. Let's bleed the brakes first, and then we'll tackle the electric stuff afterwards. Let's get it down. Now, just like most of these new cars, they need a special way to bleed the brakes. At the minute, the pedal goes straight to the ground. So we're just going to go back to basics. Fill up the brake fluid with some Valvoline brake fluid, of course. We're going to attach Mr. Push to the brake reservoir, which is going to push about 2 bar worth of pressure through the brake system. Then we're going to go to each corner and crack the bleed nipple on the calipers until all the air comes out. Normally on the new cars, there's a procedure to do this electronically, but I don't have the computer to be able to do it. So we're going to do it the old school way and hope it works. Once we've done that, we can take off Mr. Push. Is it good? Really? Oh, get in there. Right, brake pedal done. Did it the old school way. And that seemed to have worked. So far, so good. Now, the wheels can go back on. And the centre caps have arrived now.
Centre caps, they float just like the Rolls Royce. Very fancy. Let's get them in. That looks a million times better.
And things were looking good at this point. It seemed to be a quick fix. Or so we thought. Stop, apply parking brake. How do we take it out of that? Oh no. Now, the car was saying it was in low range mode, and it wouldn't come out of it. And on top of that, it wouldn't choose a gear. Seems to have gone backwards. Nothing. Nothing. You're joking. No. Normally, with the rear differential on this car, it has an open differential. And what that does, it just sends power to a wheel with the least resistance. but that's no good if you're stuck in mud. So then it gives you the option to lock the rear differential, which means both rear wheels are getting equal amount of power, which helps to get out of mud, ice, or anywhere where your wheels are going to spin. The issue is to lock the rear differential, the car will go into low range mode, and it gives you a different gearing so you get more torque. But that different gearing means the car is limited to a certain speed, and that's not good if we want to drive this car on the road. We're going to change over this mechanism because we think this is what shifts it out of high range and low range, but I don't know. Actually, that mechanism is only in charge of shifting the differential from open differential to lock differential. But as we're sticking with the pattern of keeping all the electrics the same on this car, as we did when we changed the engine and gearbox over, we might as well do it with a differential to see if that is the issue. Because surely the car knows no different now to how it was before the diff broken. All the electrics are the same. Turn it on. Great. But still the fault was there, even when I cleared the codes. The only good thing is that the car now went into gear and we could move it forward. So we have progressed, but it still was in low range mode. And we had this fault appear. Transfer case has a malfunction, the message is missing. Which is just getting confusing. The transfer case is inside the gearbox and we haven't touched that since we've done the differential, but the transfer case is in charge of changing the car out of low range and high range. My only option now is to completely reset all of the modules and then do a learning procedure to teach them all the values again. Basically, I'm just button bashing the computer until it works now. If this works, the reason why if it does, is because it doesn't know where neutral park or reverse is. When Ethan is putting it into neutral park or reverse, it isn't talking to the rear differential to say, I'm ready to go driving. It's just, it doesn't know, it's having a malfunction. So it's saying low range, it's saying low range, but when actually it might not even be in low range, it's just panicking. Now, we just had our fingers crossed that this teaching procedure completed and actually worked. The teaching was successful.
Oh, we could be on.
Time to test it. Any good?
Ethan,
Guess what?
is it
It
up?
looks like you're going to Switzerland!
Mechanic! The teaching procedure actually worked. All the faults turned out to be electric. Surprise, surprise. That must have been all the faults because we've got none on the dash anymore. The dashboard was clear, although I still think we need the adaptive cruise control calibrating, but we were in a much better position and it seems we've got the car done in perfect timing because tomorrow is the day we leave. Here we go, Wayne is ready. We think my dad is in his DBX that we rebuilt the engine on and we've never took it on a trip ever before. We hope it makes it. It's on his winter wheels, it's on his winter tyres. We've got the winter wheels and tyres ready. We really hope Wayne will hold out for the next couple of thousand miles at least. Let's get to Switzerland, come on. Come on! The relief was unbelievable. Wayne was actually on the road after the past 6 days of absolute mind-bogglery. A plan to travel from here in the UK all the way down to Switzerland. We managed to get down to Dover, where the cars will board the ferry into France.
Boarding the ferry. Put that on your windscreen.
And with a 2-hour journey ahead, we all managed to get a little bit of rest before the next stint in France.
This is.
Wayne has made it to France.
Bonjour, je m'appelle français, je veux que...
Oui, oui, petit flou, s'il vous plaît.
Now, to be honest with you, the next part of the drive was just a long motorway stint. But both cars were doing great, and I was just so happy that we actually managed to get Wayne on the road. Only 6 days ago, he was left at an auction, damaged and non-running, and now he's on the road to Switzerland. Although he does seem to only average 16 miles per gallon, which means we had a lot of fuel stops.
In we go again.
Whoa! I've already put 150 quid in it to start. We've got just over to Calais. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the least economical car I've actually got. Oh my god, I've already put 150 quid in it. There's no way. More fuel added to the beast. And with plenty of miles under his belt, both of the cars made it into Switzerland.
Here's some snow.
And although we planned for lots of snow like our last trip to Switzerland, this time it seemed to be a lot clearer. But at least we were prepared now with our winter tyres. And who would have thought driving the thousands of miles was actually probably the easiest part of this build. Up we go, we're going up. And the reason we're going Switzerland is so I can treat my friends and family who have all been a part of making these videos, whether it's on camera or behind the camera, throughout the year, to a works Christmas do at skiing. It's around getting winter tyres and no snow, we're good. And what a way to do it, in a G-Wagon and a DBX.
1,000 miles later, I think Wayne might have actually done it.
I think he's done it. These are the type of memories that I'll never forget. I'd have thought you'd crazy if you'd told me, even last year, I'd be rebuilding the G-Wagon in 6 days and then driving it to Switzerland. But I guess hard work really does beat talent.
How are you?
I'm good. Right. And we arrived.
Wayne made it.
He did.
And you said he wouldn't.
I didn't. Never said he wouldn't. I said I was questionable.
We made it.
We made it. How Christmassy.
How was your car?
Sound.
Now, when I said we were going skiing, I didn't mean we was any good at it. And I bet you're all wondering how much this all costs. Well, the G-Wagon was £72,000. Then, in total, we spent on parts £38,000. And if you look at the price of urban G-Wagons of that year, with that sort of mileage, I don't think we've done too bad. There's still a few final touches to do on it to make it perfect, get some lights off the dash, but we can get to them in a future video. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Minutes, engine management lights on.
Do you know why that could be, or?
Comes on for different reasons. Sometimes it's because it's Christmas.
Like a drug that